Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. Now this video, once again, we get to go and do something fun, which is typically making fun of Logan Paul for just doing really stupid things. And this has kind of been one of the more stupider things I've seen so far on the whole internet so far. And well, if you guys are curious why, it's mainly because this guy is absolutely massively a big scammer, and when he was called out for being a scammer, he basically tried to deflect and say he got scammed by other scammers, which made sure his normal scamming was okay, and at the end of the day, I believe cost upwards of $6+ million and basically went and scammed folks. And that kind of sounds a little bit typical nowadays, where a lot of folks just assume these Paul brothers, both Logan and Jake Paul, are kind of bad people, but this one's been almost even more intriguing, because it kind of seems at this point, almost every single person on the entire internet, on Twitter, on even Logan Paul's YouTube comments themselves, are all absolutely against him, and for, I think, in my opinion, kind of good reasons. Now, I try my best to kind of stay out of the drama, although I'll be honest, the YouTube algorithm and the YouTube vibe is always kind of fun to go make fun of these people whenever they do something very, very scummy and very, very wrong. So that's what we're going to be doing throughout this video. So if you guys like these types of videos, make sure you guys are subscribed or leave a like or give me your thoughts and comments in the bare minimum. And of course, as well, let's just dive on into it. So in case you guys kind of live underneath the rock, which is fine, sometimes I go and see these celebrities like a Justin Bieber or like a Kim Kardashian, Logan Paul, and I kind of zoom out whatever they're kind of saying, because at the end of the day, it doesn't really affect my life. I think my life is better when I don't know what these people are up to. But sometimes when they get caught scamming into the point where it's just so embarrassing, well, sometimes you kind of want to go and highlight it, especially when the whole entire internet is kind of making fun of them for kind of a good reason. Now, this isn't necessarily making fun, more so of kind of realizing that they actually are just kind of lying in between their teeth and realizing the fact of, well, they probably kind of got caught. The only reason why they're kind of pulling out this in the first place as well, they did get caught. So let's go talk about this. So if you guys don't know, CoffeeZilla, who has actually been a very somewhat intriguing YouTuber, kind of on the up and up itself, has made a lot of kind of fraud and kind of crypto call out type videos. And as of recently, these past few weeks or so, there was a huge big kind of call out in regards to Logan Paul and one of his projects called Crypto Zoo. Now, if you guys know or don't know, basically Crypto Zoo was an NFT type project where you basically got like little animals and it was like animated and there's meant to be like a game and stuff involved with it. And with most of these kind of crypto scam projects, well, it didn't go and happen. Now, if you guys watch my channel, I'm usually kind of okay with crypto as long as the use case isn't necessarily too bad, and I kind of have a little bit of faith of a good decentralized system. But one of the big things to note is that Logan Paul is essentially a massive scammer. Now, this is all alleged because we don't have all the full information, and then in theory, they could always go and come back out, as they mentioned and kind of teased on the fact that it might come at some point throughout the video. And it's probably just because people in the whole entire internet are trying their best to go call him out on this random failed project that scammed millions of people and millions of dollars. But at the same time, it's just disappointing. So basically, Crypto Zoo was an NFT type project, and Logan Paul was involved. He was like the owner, he was financing this type of stuff, and just everything went wrong. Now, not to give him a free pass because he was, number one, in charge of it, number two, was paying for people, and number three, also completely ghosted the project until CoffeeZilla and other folks out there called him out on this issue. Now, Logan Paul, this guy has been involved in quite a few different crypto, notoriously bad scams, like that dink doink type thing. Different types of him trying to sell his own pictures of his life as NFTs and other crypto projects, and as well, this Crypto Zoo. And it's kind of intriguing because someone who has 23.6 million subs, who's also done boxing, who's been in movies and TV shows, and also has things like his Prime Energy drink, he's making good money. He's making a few millions of dollars a year regardless, and he's already pretty much rich and set off for the rest of his life. But as you guys kind of know, some people always want more. So being involved in these kind of essentially scam projects, allegedly, kind of go to show that this guy was kind of just wrong. So what happened is that he hired multiple people in regards to like the project. So they had a dev who apparently just never got paid, and they end up just leaving the project. He hired like prior felons and other prior like just notorious scammers who apparently were involved in scamming billionaires and other folks kind of in their big circles. Now, that sucks for Logan Paul. Don't get me wrong. You hire the wrong people, or they steal source code, or they basically go and try to, scam you in any way, shape, and form. That's not cool. That's not right. But when it comes to these bigger issues, you gotta also admit that it's like the fool me once, shame on me, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. And this was Logan Paul getting, well, kind of shamed at least 10 different times because there's just a notorious level of him kind of dropping projects, hyping up projects, and also kind of working with all these really, really scummy folks. And as well, that's kind of the big issue. So CoffeeZilla basically found out and knew that Logan Paul made this CryptoZoo project. They basically had a chance to make money on, basically minting these things, and they get profit for people using the product, etc., like buying the product, and then you essentially sell them on out, you get people involved in it thinking, oh my god, Logan Paul, he's a big guy, he has 24 million subs, this project will probably make money at the end of the day. And then sadly you get faces like this where he kind of gets caught. So obviously, people were kind of concerned. Like, they had this huge hype project they were selling for, and they sold the product itself. And then Logan Paul was not around. Ghosted the project for literal years. Devs were saying they never got paid. Employees were saying they never got paid. And you're seeing this all on the crypto side, and that's why for me I've always been a big pusher of, like, say, the decentralization of crypto. I think that's a cool idea. I think it's a cool concept. I've even had a chance to talk with some crypto projects like the Ethos project, which is cool because it's all apparently just decentralized. But as you kind of go through all these different things, the morals get questioned. The morals kind of drop when there's millions of dollars involved, which is not a cool concept at all. So as this kind of call out comes and happens, now they're threatening lawsuits. Now they're threatening like big fights. Now they're trying to go and say that Logan Paul was the one who was scammed when it came to his response video. And if you're someone who bought someone's product a year ago, they got ghosted, the project goes and falls to an absolute low amount because number one, it never got finished. Number two, the main promoter, aka Logan Paul, is not involved with it anymore. And as well, just you kind of have these really weird things where someone calls us out and calls out these scams and calls out with you working these weird people, and your response is basically, hey, either end up on my podcast or get sued. Rightfully so, everyone on the internet is going to go and roast them. And that's pretty much the summary of all this kind of big stuff to save you guys around an hour of drama. But it's crazy because someone and everyone out here on the YouTube comments, on Twitter comments, are just absolutely roasting him in the process. His YouTube comments, the fact that they're even open, I have to give him applause because, oh my good lord, I would never not. You guys can see some of these comments in his own YouTube fan base or general YouTube commentators. Can you imagine threatening someone after scamming a bunch of investors, aka people who bought into CryptoZoo? Rightfully so, that's awful. It's like hiring a team of former bank robbers to run a new bank you decide to open. Fascinating. A masterclass on how not take accountability for anything. And that's a big thing too, is that literally Logan Paul did not step up. Logan Paul did not try to do anything. Logan Paul just tried to deflect the blame on pretty much every other person he possibly can. And as that kind of goes on, people realize that, hey, you were a part of the scam. Just because someone else went and like slapped your wife doesn't mean you didn't slap your wife yourself. It's probably a bad example, probably a bad metaphor. I was going to say like, or something else, but I don't know if I ever get yelled at by YouTube for demonetization. But it's crazy because it's like, hey, the part where he apologized to all the victims and gives them back their money back made me shed a tear because he never went to go and offer the money back for people who invest in this project that he completely ghosted. The people are calling him out saying the fact he thinks he's a victim, it's crazy. In my experience, whenever someone says, I'll see you in a court, which is a famous last Logan Paul line, yeah, that's kind of just weird. Zero apologies, zero addressing victims, zero accountability, because people did lose money on this project. Now, that's awful to go and see. Crypto is a risk. Crypto coins is a risk. NFTs are a risk, etc., etc. If you invest into it, you have to know it might go to zero, and you have to take the accountability for it. That's how the world works. But the one big thing is that it just was awful. Like Logan Paul was trying to call this CoffeeZilla guy to join his podcast, to show up in person that he's a liar. And at the same time, this CoffeeZilla makes a 3-part documentary exposing all these just horrible things that Logan Paul went and scammed people on. And it's not just a one-time character thing too. If it was a one-time thing and he apologized and said he wants to make it right, maybe people would give him a pass. But if at all the other past controversies that Logan Paul has been a part of, and now with literally everyone dogging on him, it kind of makes sense. And after all this type of stuff, too, people are saying that after all these years of silence now, that it took another YouTuber to call you out because you're like basically you couldn't lay underneath the radar anymore. And people are even saying on the audacity of, I can't even believe he's even leaving this up too as well. Threatening lawsuits doesn't mean you're innocent. Gotta go and make this situation look worse than it even was. I don't think I've seen a singular positive comment so far in this video, and it kind of goes and show that the entire internet right now is roasting Logan Paul for number one, being a scammer, and number two, just being an overall bad person. And well, it seems almost kind of deserved. So give me your thoughts and comments on the ongoing crisis over here of Logan Paul, where once again he proves he's not a good person, and I would love to hear your thoughts and comments down below. As well, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on if you guys want or like these types of videos. We also have the Twitter and Twitch room down below, Target, Amazon links too as well, to go check it on out, and I appreciate you guys all so much for watching here, and please don't get scammed by Logan Paul.